Are you considering moving to Cape Cod? I'm DeLellis, a local real estate agent here on Cape, and I'm going to go over a few things in the towns here on Cape Cod, certain restaurants, certain activities, certain beaches, stuff so that when you're considering a place on Cape Cod, you'll know where you want to be. Today I'm going to go over the town of Sandwich. I'll try to keep this video a little bit quicker, but here goes nothing. Okay, so you see here we have the town of Sandwich. See that it is outlined in Google Maps here. It's the easiest way to show you. I'm just going to go over a couple of things. I'm going to try to keep this video to about 15 minutes. I can ramble on, but let's start. We're going to start up here by the edge of the town. You'll see that Sandwich here is one of the first towns right over the bridge. It comes into Bourne here. This is Sagamore. But it's one of the first towns that you'll see right over the bridge. It's a great spot for commuters, and it's a great spot for living in a quaint town. Sandwich taxes are a little bit higher than the rest of the Cape, but they do that because they keep the big businesses out of town. If you got to go to a big box store, you have to go into Hyannis or over the bridge to Plymouth. So they do that to keep people out of the town. Anyway, so let's start down here kind of by the bridge here. I grew up actually kind of in this neighborhood, this little tiny neighborhood right here. Down in this area, it is a good spot. This is where it's considered historic Sandwich. You'll see that this is called Old Kings Highway. So 6A runs almost the entire length of Cape Cod. It's the historic section. It's the historic zone. Even though that my family house was built in 1985, it's still considered to be in historic Sandwich. We're gonna get into it because I don't want to be long-winded on this video. But to start, great place. It used to be called the BBC British Beer Company. Recently changed ownership into the local here on Cape Cod. Great place, awesome pizza. They do a wonderful business there. It's kind of, there's a lot of local watering holes. One of those places. They do great lunch and great dinner. Awesome place to be. If you're living in this area here, this is considered kind of what is downtown Sandwich. This is called Town Neck neighborhood up here. This is just kind of the Route 130 neighborhood downtown. This whole area is kind of historic all along Old Kings Highway, and then again down Route 130 here, which in this area is called Main Street. You'll see that right here, right next to Stop and Shop. That's where you probably do most of your shopping, if not in Market Basket, right next to the bridge. You have Cafe Chew. Awesome place to get a sandwich. They don't do dinner, but they do breakfast and lunch. Great place. They do amazing sandwiches. Their menu is kind of small, but it was taken over by new ownership a couple of years back, and they have continued that phenomenal service over there. Great place to get some good grub for lunch if you're in the area. We're going to go down Old Kings Highway and try to kind of just make our way driving down. So this here, again, Old Kings Highway, you're going to see this here. So Town Neck area. So I'm going to talk about Town Neck. Great beach area. This is the jetty. This is the Canal Visitor Center. Little point of advice, if you're going to Town Neck Beach, this parking here costs money. The Visitor Center does not. So you just have to walk along the jetty here, the canal, and go to the beach here. That's what we always do. That's what I would do if I were you. It's an absolute great place. You get Treehouse Brewing, which just actually came in just a few years ago. They do a great job. I'm not a big craft beer person, but if you're looking for a good beer, some pizza, and some snacks, that's a place to be. Plus, you can't beat the view. You get the whole bay view here. Word of advice on this spot, the traffic along the road coming in, it does get pretty crazy. Town Neck Road here, like the traffic here, because of Treehouse will fill up. A lot of the times the police take notice and they will tow your car. So make sure that there's parking. The residents in this area are not a big fan. So we'll go down Route 6A, continuing. I'm going to stop right here at Marshland Restaurant. Awesome place. Again, breakfast, lunch, dinner. It does phenomenal food. It's been a staple in the town for since I was little. I used to work there. I used to wash dishes. So it's just an awesome place. You can't go wrong with their stuffed quahogs, or especially in the morning, they got their eggs Benedicts. It's delicious. Next, we're going to go down to Dunbar Tea Room. Awesome place. My kids love it. Every year we get them a gift card so that we can go to one of their special event kind of tea things. They do like a Harry Potter day and all sorts of Christmas stuff. So they do a lot of themed stuff. So if you want to have a great place to sit around, have a cup of tea, a couple of sandwiches, good food overall, there's a new owner that took it over a few years back and is doing a phenomenal job. Sandwich Glass Museum. So if you want a kind of a quick museum experience about sandwich history, this is the place to go. Sandwich used to be a huge procurer of glass. They had created a lot of glass, and actually this whole area of town has been named the Glass Town District. Awesome place to actually see some of the history in town. Best Bakery. Awesome bakery, can't go wrong with that. Coffee and some pastries, not very big, you know, something for something quick, but awesome place right on Jarvis Street, can't go wrong there. Coming up north here, we're going to go into more beaches. So this beach area here, again, is continuing Town Neck. This is called Spring Hill area. And to us locals, fishermen, this is called Old Harbor. So this is Old Harbor where the Sandwich Boardwalk is. Another place that you need to visit. This here, this kind of view that you see here, that was destroyed in a storm a few years back. It has been rebuilt in a very similar fashion. It's just an awesome place to go. I've jumped off that bridge 8,000 times when I was a teenager. So it's just a great place to visit. It stretches all the way from the Jarvis Street end all the way to the Town Neck end, as you can see here by the long bridge. And again, you can park down in this public parking area and then walk down to this side where all the beaches are. And you'll end up right here. Continuing on, we're going to go down 6A some more. And we're going to go down to Town Neck, East Sandwich Beach. So East Sandwich Beach here, it's another, technically it has public parking for beaches, but it's a lot of cottages. So this whole area here, you'll see it's just a lot of cottages. So it's mainly a lot of cottage goers that use this beach here. There is some public parking. Again, don't park along this road. Your car will be towed. That has happened in the past. It's a great spot. Spring Hill Beach here is more private. I would kind of steer away from that. It's just tough to get into that. There's really no public parking up there. There's a few spots where you can pull off on the side of the road, but if there's more than 3 cars, then there's no parking. We're going to go down to the probably most famous beach in Sandwich, which is Sandy Neck. So Sandy Neck is this area here. I'm going to zoom out to show you. So Sandy Neck starts here. So the road to Sandy Neck, which is called Sandy Neck Road, starts in the town of Sandwich, but it ends in Barnstable. So technically, it's a shared beach between Sandwich and Barnstable. Technically, Barnstable gets a cheaper sticker for Sandy Neck, and there's an off-road trail that comes out here. You'll see this off-road trail. So this will go down. You can drive here. This side here is the public side of Sandy Neck. Tons of public parking. So this is a good place to go in the summertime if you're looking for a beach. These trails here, they lead out to actually a lot. You'll see they go on for miles, about 7 miles. Sandy Neck campsites, you're allowed to camp out on Sandy Neck. There's actually some homes that were built out here, no electricity or running water, but they are kind of historic little homes that were built out here on the backside of Sandy Neck. It's really cool. So we're going to come back to 6A, where we're going to go to Amari's. So Amari's is another great restaurant. What we would do is we'd get some pizza at Amari's, head down to Sandy Neck, have a bonfire on the beach. Great spot. Amari's does great food. They do wonderful service there. Again, it's a little pricey, but they do great service, and it's right there at the beach. So if you're looking to have dinner, then go down the beach, hang out a little bit by a bonfire. It's a perfect spot. Sandy Neck Provision. So I forget her name, but she had just started this company not too long ago. It's a wonderful spot. She does some cool merchandise in there, and she's very active in town. I think that if you are heading to Sandwich and need a little beach spot to kind of visit, buy some tchotchkes for your family, when you come back, it's a place to be. Go there, visit it. She does some great work in there. All right, we're going back down 6A, and we're going to start. Let's see here, zoom out. All right, so now we're going to come back into the Main Street area here. Route 130 / Main Street, so this is called Route 130. We had just been at the Dunbar. So we're going to come down this direction here. So zoom out a little bit. This is where one of the schools are, ball fields. There's the old wing school. It's now not a school anymore, but it's where I went to school, believe it or not, for a short period of time. All this is kind of residential. You'll see this is all residential. You know, you'll have businesses that run along Route 130, and you'll have businesses that run along Route 6A. We're going to get kind of into the hub of Sandwich, which is a little bit more busy. Actually, one place before we go off I'm going to talk about is the Heritage Museums and Gardens. So you can't come to Sandwich without visiting Heritage. Believe it or not, I used to work there. I was there for 10 years. I was the manager of facilities and security, so I took care of a lot of the buildings and grounds and whatnot. So I can emphasize, if there's one place that you don't want to miss while in Sandwich, is Heritage Museums and Gardens. So we are coming back here. So Heritage, it's beautiful. It's 100 acres. They actually even do winter events. So if you're there in the winter, you can go and see what they have for gardens aglow. They set up Christmas lights from front to back. They do a lot of events there. So don't miss Heritage. Go to their website, find out more. So coming down Route 130. So a lot of this area, you know, in between here is a lot of industrial. The base is actually on this side, Joint Base Cape Cod. So there's no homes in there or business, but come back, you'll see Coca-Cola. We have all sorts of kind of businesses here. But then we're going to come into this. So this here comes to more residential area. This is Canterbury neighborhood. And same thing, this is Lakewood Hills, all residential. But I want to talk about these two spots, which is kind of like a good central hub to look at. These two plazas, the owner's name is Tommy. He owns the technical two plazas. I know he has kids about my age, 40 years old now. Shouldn't say they're kids. But he made a lot of good stuff in the town of Sandwich. So in here, I'm going to talk about Tomatoes. So Tomatoes is a wonderful Italian restaurant. Again, it can be a little bit pricey, but they offer amazing food. You can't go wrong with Tomatoes. It's just absolutely phenomenal. The food there is to die for. Mark, the owner, does a phenomenal job. And he actually has a couple of businesses in town, which I'll point out. This one here, I think is here. So this is Nana's. They opened this up. It's not a fancy restaurant, but it does have amazing food. I can't emphasize enough to go there. Like, when I say go there, I mean go there. It has phenomenal food. Quick takeout, easy pastries, coffee, that type of stuff. So definitely go there. JD Burgers, the local owner in town, great spot. Kind of another local watering hole. Go there if you want a burger. They do sushi as well. I don't really eat the sushi there, just get the burgers. But I've heard their sushi is phenomenal as well. So somewhere you want to consider. Coming down, this is Canterbury Plaza. So you have two brothers, Mexican and pizza. So kind of describes itself. Obviously, it's Mexican and pizza. They do a great job. Quick Bite pizza is very good. Same thing over here. It's a new pizza place in town called Brooklyn Heights. I personally have never eaten there. I'll get there soon. But my brother says it's phenomenal. They love it. They think it's an absolutely wonderful place. Great place in town here. Hometown juice. Try to get away from that greasy food, heavy food. You want hometown juice. This is the place. Like, you want a good smoothie, a good juice, all fresh. Beautiful place to go. You can't go wrong here. They have these little power balls. I forget what they're called. They're made. They're like coconutty. You need a quick boost. Like, that's the place to go. Get those. Just awesome. We're going to go. So China Palace, this place has been a staple in town. I don't even know if it's open yet. Again, it has shut down and opened up multiple times over the past 25 years. But this is the Chinese restaurant in town. I won't say more about that. So coming a little bit farther down Route 130, you have some more plazas down here. You got local hardware stores. Again, this is all residential in here. Stop and Shop, another Stop and Shop in town, which is your shopping center when you're in town. Plenty of liquor stores in town as well. Meeting House Package Store, great place, very local, owned by locals. It's been there for ages. And then I'm going to zoom out here so I can kind of show you the other neighborhoods here. Forestdale. Forestdale is a wonderful spot, a great residential neighborhood. A lot of Coast Guard you'll see people, or I shouldn't say Coast Guard, I should say military, that are staying at Joint Base Cape Cod. They do their 4 years, they buy a house in here, and then they sell it 4 years later. So Forestdale's a great spot to be. Especially if you're in the Coast Guard and you're looking, just very easy. Town of Sandwich. Town of Sandwich has great schools. They do awesome. They have awesome schools there. They have awesome other amenities. And the biggest thing about the town of Sandwich is that they have a lot of history. So, I'll talk a little bit about the town of Sandwich history. They are the oldest town on Cape Cod. And again, like I mentioned before, they keep a lot, the taxes are high, and they keep a lot of the big businesses out, so they want to keep that. And when you drive up 6A in Sandwich, you're going to see a lot of local places, a lot of local shops on either side. And it's a great place to be. You're not going to see any of those kind of bigger, you're not going to see a Home Depot in Sandwich. You have to drive the high end. It's 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get to that. So it's an absolute great town to live in. Getting back to the map, I want to point one more out right before the town of Sandwich, technically not Sandwich, but the Whaleback Restaurant. They have had $9.99 fish and chips for, I think, like 30 years now. They refuse to raise the price on their fish and chips. Just a great spot. If you need a place when you're coming over the bridge, get some quick fish and chips that are delicious, go to the Whaleback. It's great. Again, a lot of other little local spots. Greenbrier, they do a wonderful kind of educational thing. They have jam making classes. You can't go wrong with that. I know I mentioned the Glass Museum and Heritage Museums and Gardens. This whole area up here is historic, and you'll find a lot. Titcomb's Bookshop. Like, I'm a big book guy. If you go to Titcomb's, you will find awesome selection there, an awesome place, a bookshop in town. Riverview Cafe, you can't go wrong. Riverview School, it's a school for disabled children, and wonderful school, award-winning school. But they also run a lot of programs, and one of the programs they have is they actually have the Riverview Cafe, which I don't know if I can find it on the map here, but it is a phenomenal little place, and you can't miss it. They do great lunch there. Again, we're at Amari's here. So that's kind of the town of Sandwich in a nutshell. Just a couple of local places that you want to see there. Again, that's not all of them. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for not mentioning a bunch of places, but the town of Sandwich is a beautifully quaint little village. And if you want to move to a town that's easy for commuters, right over the bridge, that also is pretty quaint, has great schools, town of Sandwich is the place for you. I really recommend it. I actually went to Sandwich High School. I'm a wash ashore, as they call us. I wasn't born on Cape, but I did go to Sandwich High School, graduate from Sandwich High School. A wonderful town. If you have any questions about town of Sandwich, please call me, John DeLellis, 508-241-4100. Again, I'm a local real estate agent here, and I'm hoping to help you. Thank you very much.